Evening's live, and I'm sure not many of you probably thought to see me here again. But, I can't resist. We got about 26 minutes until the daily close. Julie and T were taking a nap, and I figured, what the heck? Let's do a live. I'm thinking we'll do an hour. Just logging into this tablet. As you know, I'm not home until tomorrow. T's appointment went fantastic. Surgeon was happy with how everything looked. Got his G-tube, changed out. Everything was good. Tiny bit of blood, but nothing unusual. So yeah, he did great. But he was tired after, which is normal. Plus he got up at like 3 a.m. But I'm glad that's over with. And then in 3 months, gotta do it again. But we'll be going home tomorrow. But I wanted to update right now. So far today, we've done a phenomenal job. XRP's done a phenomenal job finding support, maintaining support. And now it's up to the bulls here to try to push us up probably to that 156 area. If we can hold this and go into the daily close, tomorrow should be a volatile day. Now that we held, like we talked about this morning, tomorrow should be as long as we didn't break this down, we're in good shape. We didn't break it down. It was very volatile, but we can still come. Like, don't. Okay. Let's see what happens. Oh, what kind of reception is that? Is that what it looks like right now? What the hell? Let me reset this. No, let me see if I refresh this page because I need to see what. Okay, that's better. How's it look right now? Well, Oliver, a lot of people left because it cut me off and I did not know it. Does that look any better? I think. Okay, I accidentally. So I went outside to talk to my mom, and my tablet crossed over onto Xfinity Wi-Fi, and it was not connected to the hotel Wi-Fi or the hotel Wi-Fi anymore. And I noticed the hotel Wi-Fi at least gives me good reception on the lives. That's all I can ask. It's got great, like the download speed isn't the greatest, but ironically the upload speed is good. And that's usually what screws people over when they're trying to do YouTube, uploading it to it during the live. It's dangerous right now. I would love to see XRP, just validate the rest of this. Now, if it comes through, we know that the reason you have to be careful here is that head and shoulders. Like, until it's not a head and shoulders here, we can't make this up. Like, we're not trying to build this pattern. And since we had to take the stairs up, or elevator up, you have to take the stairs kind of thing if it does break down. Figures you'd get up right when I started.
We just started.
Not too long ago. I came up there and you were all sleeping, so I'm like, I don't know what to do.
I'm going outside.
Okay. Then we can talk about food after if you want something. Isn't that funny? I start and then Julie wakes up right after. It always happens that way. Oh, somebody in the comments too, they said, Tom, I think you're not as muscular as you look. Somebody said it was my shirt. I love it. I always say there's a critic in everything. There's always a critic. Nobody can ever just say, hey, you can, we're doing, it was just funny when they said that. And ironically, today I'm in a short sleeve shirt. So now I can say it's not just the shirt. See, it's not just the shirt. So there, see, actually the shirt, if anything, the shirt makes me look smaller when I was wearing my shirt. That's work. So I just thought it was funny. And then I was like, wait a minute, I have my short sleeve shirt on. Now I can't even say it. But anyhow, what's fun is fun, right? What's fun is fun. Hey, Tom, try to move. I know there's like, no matter where I go, it finds me in some way. I was talking about this earlier, that there's so many lights in here. What if I do this? Is that at least a little bit better? There's so many lights in here that it makes it so hard. Like, there's so many lights. Let's see. Well, they explained earlier he can't move from the... Yeah, I can try to turn it like this. Unfortunately, like the angle it's hitting right now, I don't know if the light on the top is turned a little bit, but it's in the, I don't know. There's one straight over the top, one over there. You know, I wish I could do this and keep it like that, but I can't because that's my hand blocking it. If I only had a hat for my tablet, if I only had a hat. But anyhow, I think this will be a little bit better. Oh, this is better? Excellent. Earlier this morning. Oh, yeah, you were just talking to them. Mrs. Stott and Define, thanks for being in town. Already 6+ months with the XP Predictor. Define, appreciate you being a very influential mod in here and trusted. Says, hey, everyone, hit that like on the way in. Consider subscribing and joining Tom's Army for the best technical analysis on YouTube. Every day you're not in the Telegram, you're missing out. And I agree. The Telegram is so incredibly vital. Such a vital piece. But I digress. Right now in the hourly bearish candle, you had a reversal candle here. This pulled back down. That's slightly bearish. Now, if this candle ends up being a reversal and we push through at 7 o'clock, it's going to be a slightly bearish start to the day. Now, I would not be surprised because we are still set up in what could be a right shoulder and a head and shoulders, what could be a bear flag. But that's neither here nor there. We got to talk about one big topic of discussion. I put it in my my thumbnail, and I'm glad that I got positive review about that. And Cannabis Podcast, thank you for being in Tom's Army for, how long have you been in Tom's Army now? Because I seen your comment before, and I appreciated the fact that you liked the image, because I was trying to explain through the image what's happening with SBI, because there's been a lot of false gravata going through there, so to say. Did I not? What did I do here? Oh, I paused the screen. I just wanted to make sure it didn't cut me off again. But I think we're good because I'm on the hotel one now. But SBI, so SBI, it was reported that they had $10 billion in XRP. That's not true. They have 0 XRP, but they have $10 billion in Ripple Labs, which equates to a 9% stake. So they have a 9% stake in Ripple Labs, equivalent to about $10 billion. So they're very much, you know, a deep supporter of Ripple, but not the token. They don't have the token. Oh, I forgot it was glaring here. Now I can get a better look. There you go. Now the light's not glaring. I'm like, is that even my arm? I feel like I have the SpongeBob inflatable arms, if that makes sense. Julie mocked me because I'm like, Julie, I could trim down a little bit. And she just looked at me. I'm like, well, I could. I'm like, I bulked up a little bit. So the way I eat, I might be a little bit well, not fluffier, but I feel like I could be a little bit. And she just looked at me like with the head shake. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry about that. Shouldn't have said that. Anyhow, XRP at $1.48. We'll look more at this. We'll look more at the patterns. We'll look more at what we need to do over the top, and then where it could fall to below if this is like a pennant, like a bearish pennant, which I'm not sure it is, but definitely can't rule it out yet. You definitely can't rule it out yet. So, but let's talk about SBI because this is very important. Have any of you heard the actual news about SBI out of curiosity? Oh, they very much are hooked up with XDC, and it's actually for a great reason with XDC. They want to get deeply involved in that R3 Corda. And they want to be at the front of that institutional play when it comes to basically the flipping of the old, like, oh man, when we say it's the changing of the guard, there's so many terms that the reason why it is that. But anyhow, XDC is something unbelievably freaking special. I love that. I love this guy, Dina. I love this guy. I don't even know who he is. I just like him on Facebook. He's one of the 6 people I follow, and one of them's my brother. One of them's my church. One of them's my old channel. I don't know who the other one is. I don't remember. But there is a bunch of liquidity up there. Look at that heat map. If that's Binance, though, so you don't want to do it just Binance. So we'll go to my heat map after, and we'll look at all of them. You don't just want to look at Binance. That's gonna, if there's one that I wouldn't want to look at, it's just Binance. But we have to skew it any way we can. So Where was this at? Oh, and this is another thing I needed to bring up. I completely forgot about it. So, and a lot of the people in the comments, a couple people that commented said, "Oh, that's not true." Okay. Well, Standard Charter, they dropped their price target of $8 by the end of the year, and they dropped it to $2.80%. So they slashed it by 65%. That's true. You know, whether people want to acknowledge it or not, that's the truth. And it was an unrealistic price target for the year anyhow. We've had ETFs and blah blah blah, but I want to talk about where the hell did I share this? Oh, this was pretty cool. XDC, speaking of XDC, they made the bank obsolete with what they did. So if you ever deal with crypto and the bank blocks it, well, XDC and USDC partnered with 150 million Visa merchants worldwide. So it's Orbit XPay integration. You can now spend your USDC directly on the XDC network. Over 150 million Visa merchants worldwide. No asking for bank permission, no waiting 5 days for your transfer, no accounts getting frozen. You just load it onto your self-custodial wallet and tap blah, 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 but you have to go through all theirs. But that's something that's actually happened. And then for some reason, I got a lot of criticism on this one, but it's the truth. Ripple-backed SBI Holdings CEO breaks silence on 10 billion XRP Holdings report. SBI CEO breaks silence on 10 billion XRP rumor. Confirmed stake is in Ripple Labs equity, not the XRP token itself. So the direct report was SBI Holdings CEO breaks silence on 10 billion XRP rumor. And this is what he said. Let's set the record straight. SBI Holdings CEO Shotaka, and I think it's funny, his name is Yoshitaka. 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 Kitao. So Yoshitaka. Kitao. Yoshitaka Kitao has officially cleared the air regarding the viral report suggesting the Japanese financial giant holds 10 billion worth of XRP tokens. Here is the confirmed truth. SBI's position is in Ripple Labs equity, not the XRP token itself. In a direct response to the inaccurate claims, Kitao clarified that SBI owns a massive 9% equity stake in Ripple Labs. Why does this matter? Instead of exposing the firm to the daily price volatility of holding the tokens directly, this 9% equity stake allows SBI to capitalize on the massive growth, ecosystem, and global expansion of the company behind the XRP ledger. I want to invest in Ripple Labs too. Give me Ripple Labs. Sorry, I don't have billions of dollars to put into it, but I would have liked to have had a stake in Ripple Labs a few years ago, but no. I like the token, but I would have loved to have had a stake in the ecosystem a little bit deeper. No doubt about it. They own a major piece of the powerhouse itself. So that's the truth. It's the truth. You know, it's the truth. Whether it doesn't matter to me if anybody wants to acknowledge it or not. It's what happened. I can't help it. It's not my fault. It's not my fault that that's the truth. I can only tell you what he said. Tom SBI is hooked up with XDC. Oh, yeah. Defined XDC is such a diamond in the rough. It's almost embarrassing, the price these days. And the funny thing about it is like when you look at it, for how cheap it is, this is starting to drag out a little bit now. So hopefully, if this, again, could be a bear flag, could bring us back down. Probably if I was a guessing man, if it was going to hold, it would drop it all the way back down here. If it wasn't going to break out right now. So basically what I'm saying is like, so you have shoulder, head, round, duck, invalidate that whole section, right? Reset. Now come back up. Then people are like, well, I'm not buying it. So you would think that it would have to do something like that if it's actually going to play out. But because then you could go bottom, double bottom. Imagine that. Ooh, Nelly, would I be happy. See, I always come up with these patterns that if it did it, I'd be like, oh my God, it's so bullish. And then everybody's like, well, what if it doesn't do it? I'm like, well, that's not as bullish. What? I'm allowed to fantasize. I want a descending wedge formed right here. Is it my fault that I'm going to try to make it happen? I'm going to try to put the power of positivity into XDC's mind and say, listen, XDC. Just like I told XRP, you got a big chance here. We got a big chance to form a descending wedge here out of all this chaos. But you got to do it. You got to do it. XDC's got to do it for us. And that means it's got to do something that's not even built yet. So basically, XDC already got its failure here, which we needed. So watch how this plays out. If we want this to be bullish, it's going to have to look like this. You got a resistance. You got a resistance across beautiful downtrending lower highs. That's what we want to see in this scenario. And this scenario, this is what we want to see. So hold your horses. Everything's not as bad as it seems. Well, it's a little bad, but it's not as bad as it seems in any regard, even if it falls, if it comes into my scenario. Now, is it going to happen? I don't know. I hope so, because my scenario is super bullish. Super, super bullish and simple to achieve. So, in my scenario, we're going to have to do something like this. Maybe like this. How can we slope this? Because this is too much. It's not going to do that. If it does that, we're just probably screwed anyhow. I want to see something like this. So now we're going to have to guide it. We're going to have to guide it in. We're going to have to guide it home, ladies and gentlemen. We're hoping for something like that, forming some kind of descending wedge. And then it would just say we're early, right? Think about it. Early. It's okay, we're early, buddy. It's early. If we talk about it rationally, resistance, so now we try to find support. Support, buy, support. So resistance. Well, guess what? Routine started. Buy, support. Sell resistance. Buy, support. Break out. Well, until breaks out or breaks down, you keep using that routine. Which means sell resistance, wouldn't have known, buy support. Sell resistance, buy support. Sell resistance, buy support. However, I would rather it go da-doom, boom, halfway up, back down for a third, out. So that's what we're looking for. So we're trying to get this to build properly. Now, does it have to? No, that's just speculation. We're just having fun here. We're just having a conversation. I'm not a financial advisor, so this could just be some crazy man rambling. You don't know. I have been up since 3 a.m. I did an hour and 30-minute class roughly. I did a hour and a half live earlier, just a live before the class. I've done 3 different shorts. I've done countless Facebook stuff. And we're doing another live. What the hell is going on today? I'm underpaid, but rightfully appreciated the way I should be. My audience appreciates me, the core members, and that's all that matters. The Tom, Dick, and Harrys that come out of the woodwork are just Tom, Dick, and Harrys, and I just happen to be a Tom. Isn't that ironic? Damn it, Tom. You're 1/3 the problem. Anyhow. I didn't just call myself a cocksucker, did I? I think I did. This is a family-friendly show. I'm delirious. Yeah, that's what I'm going to use. I'm delirious. I've been up since 3 a.m. I cannot be held responsible. Everybody's like, you need to go to sleep. I'm like, I can't. Once I go to sleep, I'm a different person. I wake up, I'm sore as hell. My body's got to reset. Nobody wants to go through morning routine twice. Especially when you have injuries. I'm sure some of you can relate. Anyhow. That's the hourly, though, with XDC. I really just I don't want to build another pattern here. But I will. I want this to break down. I'm not going to lie. Bear flag, bear flag, bear flag, bear flag. I want it to come right here. Come on down. You're the next contestant on a quick, beautiful, fantastic, big-time reversal in the future. The apex would be very quickly, everybody. It's not like we have to wait months. It's on March 9th, 10th. But that means about 70% of the move. By early March, we should be cooking if this plays out. Head and shoulder. Nice inverse head and shoulders, too, with an extended right shoulder would be phenomenal. But I don't know. This is just a rambling of a crazy man who wants something beautiful to play out of this. So, like I said, I'm not a financial advisor. But if you're watching, see what happens. See what happens. Jay from X, welcome in and thanks for being in town zone for your first month with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. Are we talking about Bumblebee Tuna or Bumblebee from Transformers? Now I got the damn tuna can turned into a transformer, kicking the shit out of all of us because we're trying to eat tuna. Half Swizzy, welcome in. Maple Man, thanks for being in town zone for over 6 months with the XP Predictor along with David Hoff. Smack Emation, good evening. Smackamation's in town, and now we can have a party. It was not a great live until Smackamation came in. He'll smack the Mation right out of you. So don't hesitate. He'll take that FOMO right out of you. And that temptation. A little bit of confidence and a little bit of, what was this? Smackamation. Good team. We're a good team. Only 38 billion XDC total, correct? Yes. Wonder why it's not in more major U.S. exchanges by design. Because if they put it on more U.S. exchanges, these institutions that are rolling into it, and there's a lot. Like there's legitimately the deepest players in the game are investing in it. Like a lot of these companies have to beg these big institutions to come in. The big institutions are literally trying to run through a door that's 1 by 1. 1 inch by 1 inch. Like they're trying to squeeze through this door and they don't care how flat and how much of their body they have to trim off to get through. They will gnaw their own arm off to get into this infrastructure. It's going to be the silent assassin. XDC is my legitimate sleeping giant. Like that is the legitimate one that between that now and VeChain being at 008 makes me go, whew, I should pull up some of those 2021 tapes when people got pissed at me. In early 22 when VeChain's pushing 22 cents, 20, whatever it got up to. And I said it was going to flip a zero. And I said not just back to the cents, like the low cents, I mean double zeros. And we had targets down there and people, I swear, I felt like I was going to get lynched. You know? And now look what's happening. Like this legitimately says, hey, that looks like a head and shoulders until it doesn't. Does that look like a head and shoulders? Shoulder, head, shoulder. Take the elevator up. Take the contestable stairs down. Unless we break out. And then we don't double top. And we just come up here. And then we can say, the hell with that. We're just rounding the bottom. We're way too much in a shit zone already. But the hourly is massively oversold. 3 hourly looks phenomenal. 2 hourly is kicking up there. But who really cares about those time frames? 4 hourly looks great. Could it be premature? Everything could be premature. Well, I don't want to go any farther than that. I don't want to insult anybody in the audience. But I'm sure you can use your imagination. How sensitive. Ethereum's up 32.24, up 1.64%, up to 1,997. Looking fine. It's looking fine. I still feel, or that's Bitcoin. Oh, that's why. That's Bitcoin. That's the futures. That's what the futures looks like. Oh, it's looking good. That looks fine. It's even back tracing on the, of course we'd be right there. Right at the action moment. Oh, yeah, it looks fine. We're just sitting right under the real key resistance. Oh, yeah, it looks great. Yeah, Tom looks phenomenal. We're literally at that resistance. But, oh, yeah, it looks great. I think that tells you I'm getting my technical analysis out of my Cracker Jack box. Oh, my God, I gave away the secret. Oh, no, it's looking phenomenal. Yeah, we're right. We're breaking out right now. In real time on the dominant chart. But that's phenomenal for Bitcoin. And that could also mean if we have a retracement, I don't know. But I'd be shocked if we were going to go up and Bitcoin went faster than the altcoins here. That's an interesting chart. Let's go to Ethereum. See if we can get any answers. 7 o'clock flip. Ethereum closed under 2K. It really tried. Now, is this the humpback of Notre Dame? Or can we get out of here? Seems like to me, in this kind of a formation. Oh, we don't want to come down there. Never mind. Fuck that. No, forget what I said. You don't want to come down there. I remember that. Nope. We're not looking there. What the fuck? Did it really form a symmetrical triangle right here? I didn't even realize that. Oh my God, it did. That's a symmetrical triangle. Oh, we better pray to God it breaks out of here. Otherwise, the technical target's to the lower symmetrical triangle it could form. Oh, this. Oh boy. Nah, I can't play that way. Could it? Could it really play all the way out? Nah. Oh God, I would beg for it though. Wouldn't you guys beg for the epic collapse? Now that we know how to do the liquidity and stuff and how we know where to go liquid and not and yada, yada, so on and so forth. I don't want to divulge all the secrets if somebody's just coming in because they're going to be confused as all confused. Oliver Marks says, Tom, you will not work free today. I demand that you get some, what do you call it? some currency in your pocket. We won't call it money because we have to turn it back into the U.S. now. But I appreciate that. In Tom's Army now for over 1 year with the I Told You So Bad. Welcome back. Released from the YouTube prison of hell. Excellent. Excellent. Hey, Nick. Welcome in, my brother. Nick is so very trusted in here. One of the best TAs that I've seen in my 5 years on YouTube. Between him and MQ, I'm a very lucky man to have them in my audience. And Crypto Cooter and a few others, Define. Hell, 1970 legend, my man. He's our fellow Buckeye. Well, he's our big enemy, Buckeye, but you know, I like Ohio State because they make us who we are, and Ohio State likes us because we make them work. Without the two of us, we wouldn't be as good as we are. We can't stand losing to each other, and you know, someone's got to win. I wish I could share more, but my crypto charts all say the same. Oh, Nick, I don't. We don't want around there. It sucks. I want to share more too. I want to look at this without the overriding. Hey guys, I want to be bullish, but if this plays out and that plays out, we got problems. So I'm just gonna do what anybody would do. When in doubt, I'm just gonna flex now. Look, guys, look at the muscle. I'm not getting mad. I'm getting flexed. We're not getting destroyed. We're being flexed on by the market. That's all I'm going to do now. Oh, you want to make fun of me? It's time to bring out the old Tommy gun. I'm not talking about a gun. I guess I am talking about Tommy's gun. Look at that. I swear, YouTube, it's not about firearms. Don't censor me. XDC, 3.66 cents. I would like to believe, just because of what's setting up here, that is not anything bad, and that's actually a ascending triangle. Am I allowed to say that, or is it a rising wedge because it's slightly elevated? Can I lie to myself and say that could be a ascending triangle, or do I have to face the facts that could be a rising wedge? You guys tell me. Frankie Fresh does call me Tommy Gun. That is true. It's a very fitting name, too. It's a very fitting name. Sola Jeffy, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 3 months with the XP Meteor. Glad to have you in here, my friend. And what I put in the title, I mean in the image, is absolutely true. SBI, what's his name? Shitoka, what is it? Shitako? It's something. I know it's like, it says shit in it or something. What's his name? Shitaka. What the hell's this guy's name? Toko. I always forget his fucking name. Oh, excuse me. Family-friendly show. I always forget this fine gentleman's name. Where's his name? Where are you at, Mr. Yoshitaka? Yeah, Yoshitaka. And it really is, his name is Yoshit. Yoshit Aka. A.K.A. Yoshit, A.K.A. Katao. That's a great name, Shitaka. Now, is that just the American? Like, what's his name? Like, I'm sure he doesn't think of himself as shit. And, what, Japanese? I think it's hilarious. The guy who caused the big conspiracy without even saying anything is Mr. Shit. Mr. Shit, a.k.a. Katao, has come out and said they hold, in fact, $10 billion, but it's in Ripple Labs. They don't own a single XRP, but they own a 9% stake in Ripple Labs, which is friggin' huge. And that's SBI Holdings. That's a huge backing. I mean, that's... Like I said, I would want to hold in Ripple Labs. I like XRP too, but I want to hold the whole damn company too. This is bullshit. Where's my Ripple Labs? Why couldn't I get a stake in it in 2021? Or when it was in the bear markets. I want a stake in Ripple Labs. You might as well said they don't own XRP. They said all 10 billion was in Ripple Labs. They don't have to say they don't own XRP. They have 10 billion worth in this ecosystem, and all 10 billions in Ripple Labs. They don't need to tell me. I read between the lines. It's all an illusion. He said we have $10 billion invested in this ecosystem, and we have a 9% stake in Ripple Labs equal to $10 billion. They don't have to tell me they own XRP unless they have it on the side. But would you really hold XRP, the volatile token, if you just had a stake in the company and you're getting paid on the valuations? I wouldn't. There's 0% chance I would hold a token that had 100 billion that could be circulating. If I could just have a 9% stake in Ripple Labs, what do you think is going to be worth more money? Ripple Labs would rather steal your money through XRP. That's why they don't let you be a stakeholder. I know. Trust me, I get it. That's why I keep saying we don't have to give them our money. He even said their hidden asset could be worth more. Yeah, you never know. I wonder what their hidden asset is. We'll see. Tom, realistically, do you think we've bottomed yet? No, not a chance. I mean, I've been surprised before, but the way the patterns are set up, it doesn't seem like we've bottomed. Like, there's certain ones that I can kind of look at a little bit different just because of what they've done, and maybe we've done something historic, but no. Even for XDC, the only reason that I think it's compelling for XDC is the fact if it breaks this spot here, it legitimately invalidates this entire inverse head and shoulders. Unless it's just, well, you can't even say it's a quick wick now because it busted this integrity down. Legitimately busted this. So it almost makes me nervous about XRP. Remember that all-time cup and handle? Well, if I'm being honest with you, XDC has the same all-time cup and handle with the all-time descending wedge that all-time broke down. May not be exactly the same as, well, it's pretty damn close when you look at it the right way. It's pretty damn close to what we were looking at with XRP. And this ended up breaking down. Broke down. And I was always like, what happens if this breaks down? Well, we don't want it. It broke down. Like I kept saying, we'll discuss that if it happened. It happened. And now you can't even debate it because it's been over a month. You know, we're getting almost onto our second full month underneath. And the scary part is look at this other chart when there's the volume portfolio. Like, what the heck? Look at that. For how much XDC's come down. That's why I always say, like, they turn the buys off on project. They turn it off. So now I'm trying to come up with the bullish scenario if it were to break down. But if it breaks out without breaking down, I mean, it's so beaten up. Even the 4 hourly is oversold. The daily is the spot that worries me with XDC because in the short term, that's where you get scared. After a big drop like that, all it took, even with that huge ass drop, look at this. This is the scary. I mean, if you want to be honest, why I'm so nervous about where it's at right now, it's this. In the daily time frame, we go from, just hear me out. We go from massively overbought, and we're sitting at about 5.4 cents, comes all the way down. And it right here, look at this. It goes from here, and it's oversold. And now the price has depreciated and we're overbought. That's a bearish divergence in the stochastic. Like the ultimate bearish divergence. Like you don't want to see that. What the hell? Like we've literally gone up. Look at this. We went from oversold to massively overbought from the time the price. This is craziness. The price went from 4.3 cents. It was oversold. Now the price is at 3.7. It's overbought in the daily. So I always say, like, it's not what it seems sometimes with stochastic and stuff. Like, just because it's overbought in one area and then it sells off and now it's oversold doesn't mean now all of a sudden you buy it there and it's just going to be higher. This is showing you a bearish divergence when it comes to the stochastic, and it's a scary divergence, like scary. I can't think of another time with XDC that it was this bad. Think about this. This right here is when it cleared out. So it went from 5.4 down to about 4 cents. So we dropped off 1.4 cents. Oh, this is freaking nuts. Watch this. It's nuts. So this goes from significantly overbought, topping out, double topping, just like we're about to in the daily again. The price drops 27% to clear out, roughly, right? Almost 27%. So now it's extremely oversold now. Look at that. It looks like a massive move's coming. Right? It looks like we're going to go to the upside. And all of a sudden, we're down right now 6.3% from where it was at when it was massively oversold and we're overbought. Like a son of a bitch. Double topping. The bearish divergence that's been created there is all time. That's an all-time bearish divergence. I mean, you can't make that up. So, and that's in the daily time frame. We're not talking the 4-hourly. We're not talking the 2-hourly, the 30-minute. We're talking the daily. You gotta put some respect on the daily. Like, that's not a smaller time frame. That's a full 24-hour candle. I mean, look at that. Look how that's crazy. How does that even happen? How do you drop 6.2%? You go from oversold to overbought. We're not even counting the fact it came all the way down to 2.97. Like, that is, do you know how brutal that is to see that? That is so freaking crazy. Like I said, I don't remember the last time that's happened in XDC that bad. That's bad. Like, I like to talk about bullish divergences in the stochastic, not bearish. That's about as bearish of a divergence you will ever see. This thing shut off because apparently I was too passionate. He was too passionate and he forgot to check YouTube. And it only gives you like, I don't know, 2 freaking minutes. I know, it's pretty stupid. But hey, it's their technology. I'm just blessed they let me have somewhere that I can sit. Out of way. Remember when I was at the Paymont when they were doing my house, you know, fixing some stuff when I upgraded a lot of the house. I was doing it in the middle of their lobby, so people are, and plus that was more like a crack house, I felt like, compared to this. But we're in the medical district now, so. $85 people here. Beautiful. Beautiful. 85 people here. Beautiful. Oh. 85 people. What? Oh, this stupid. Hold on. Come on. I need you to back out. Back out. What, it doesn't want to back out of this? Interesting. Oh, this will work. Anyhow, but yeah, with XDC, what the fuck is this?
Watch what magnet.
How did I get it? I don't know. There we go. Okay. But XDC, that's a very big bearish divergence. I just wanted to pull this up so I could see everybody's comment. But XDC, that's a very big bearish. All right, let me turn that off. It's so fun when you're not in your normal space. All right, so big divergence. Oh yeah, the NASDAQ. No, you're right, Nick. You're right about the NASDAQ. Yeah, I mean, right now it's tough because of how volatile it is, but it's definitely overextended. There is zero, in my opinion, there's zero question about it. I don't think you're wrong with your thesis. I think it's actually dead on. It's just sometimes the thesis it doesn't play out in the exact moment we think, but that doesn't mean the thesis is invalidated. That's for sure. And silver's got an ugly little inverse cup and handle, nicely viewable on the 45. Oh, I did notice that. And the way that silver held yesterday makes it compelling, but we'll see if it can play out because I also noticed that it's got a couple steps here. First step is more of like a descending triangle, which means it's probably got to come down if it's going to validate. If this breaks down, it's probably going to validate this shoulder here, probably on this side. So I would target that's probably $70 if this played out, in my opinion. You know, if it plays down, because that looks like a nasty bear flag. Am I wrong? That looks like a bearish pennant. Formed a small symmetrical triangle, or Descending triangle there in the short term. Yeah, this pattern's reeking of descending triangle in the short term. Wow, that is bearish and immediate. I mean, I could make a compelling case. A real compelling case. Maybe not. Maybe not as compelling as I thought. That still looks like a bearish pennant, though. Ooh, let's see something. I'm just curious. Don't read too much into this. Just curious. Let's see if we got a rejection at the 20. Ooh, that kind of fits. Interesting. So that would put it right about 70 bucks, 69.80. I don't know if I'd feel too good about it coming there if I was thinking inverse head and shoulders, but that's where it would likely that would be the area of no return. Now it looks like a bear flag though. Jesus Lord. Are they gonna wake up and just put us into Pound Town tomorrow? Is that what's gonna happen across markets? Are we gonna wake up and they had all this time to plan for this holiday and now they're gonna put us into Pound Town? Oh, yeah, I know, Nick. You don't want to share things most can't hear, even though we have to. Trust me, I know how that goes. I know how this happens. I know how it happens. You put all your heart and soul and passion into it, and then somebody doesn't like what you're saying, and all of a sudden you become the guy who gets lynched. They take out all their aggression on you. I know how it goes. I'm just glad there's somebody else like you that can take some of the aggression away from being thrown at me. We're all on the same team here, Nick, so sometimes we got to bite the bullet, right? No, that's not fair. After all, I should be taking the brunt of it. Crypto Cooter, thanks for being in Tom's Arm for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. And then a $5 super chat says you are not working for free, son. Thank you. That, by the way, that's him calling me an SOB. Thanks for having this, even though he didn't. Thanks for this much. It was quite the opposite. He gave me a compliment. Thanks for having this much dedication and quality to this community, even away from. Oh, I hold no bounds. It don't matter where I'm at. I'm gonna show up, show out, and I'm gonna be proud when I go to bed for my 3 hours if I'm lucky enough. But no, I live, breathe. I like teaching. Like I really like teaching. I just can't be in a school system because I can't be told what to say. Sorry. I've always been the person who just has to do it himself because I realize if I do it myself, I know it's gonna get done right because I have high expectations. Some people think it puts me on the bozo side, especially with like fitness and stuff, because I'm just like a machine. I do the same routine, even with my work, and I just like to do the same routine. Unfortunately, Tom, Furby Trade says, unfortunately, Tom, there's a few people out there saying similar with metals, crypto, and all get hate when saying truth. Oh, I know. I've seen a few of them that are, especially with metals. I see some with crypto, but I've seen some people step out now and try to help people with silver because so many people were buying at 100 and 110, and people are finally like, listen, guys, I know it seems like the can't miss trade of the century, but you've already missed that part of it. It was the can't miss trade of the century. The problem is you missed that can't miss part. It's like with anything else. If I'm buying it at 17, 25, 28 versus buying it at 75, 100, 110, 120, look at the difference in upside. Even from 25, it's, you're for every $1 you put in, you're getting 3 back right now. So if you put $1,000 in, you're getting 3. If you put 10, you're getting 30. If you put 100, you're getting 300 at the return rate right now. Conversely, if you bought it at 76, you'd need it to go up to $238 to get that same return. You realize what I just said? $238 an ounce. Now, the people who bought it in the aforementioned, it will be up 10x. So now if they put 1,000, they got 10. If they put 100, they got 1,000,000. You see what I'm saying? They put 10,000, they got 100,000. That's a big difference. I'm all for buying the assets, but I like to buy it when we have real money to be made. I don't want to make 100%. Call me greedy, but, I don't want to chop it for a 1x. If I'm putting all this into it, I want to make 3, 4, 5, 6, at least 3. At least 3. I don't want to buy something and 2 days later I have to be like, oh, shit. But right now you don't have a choice because we're in a bear market. So unfortunately, that's how it works in bear markets. We're at the mercy of the market makers right now. And like on silver, that does not look good. Like that does not that looks like a bear flag. Now there is a short-term inverse head and shoulders that could in theory hold on, but that don't look good. That don't look good to me. I might be over exaggerating. That don't look good. That even looks like it's in a descending triangle here on the back end. Interesting. What do you guys think? Do you think this falls out here this evening? Like we have a little drop and then it works itself out, or do you think this is a fake out? If we look at platinum, it's down 1.69%. It's getting close to that 2000 level, guys. Again. And that's a big, big area there for platinum. Gold is down under 5K. Again, that's a huge signal. Being under 5K. I still think we're in a head and shoulders unless proven otherwise. And that doesn't make me feel any better. The pattern that gold is set up in right now at all. That just looks like a neutral continuation. Or you could even say it's turning into a rising wedge on the outside. I don't know. You guys can. I like to do it like this just so it gives you a smaller viewing window. But we're getting into a tricky spot here with the metals. We really, really are. Tom, what's your price prediction? I don't do on the year price predictions, Josh. There's no point. Nope. My price prediction for XRP is in time because of the pattern I see set up, unless it gets invalidated much farther down, and it would have to break like probably 60 or 65 cents to invalidate it. But right now, my thesis is that 549 to 632, but I think it validates a push to right around 630 to 641 based on the all-time cup and handle that's been formed in XRP and the descending wedge that, fortunately for us, is on the handle now. That gets me a legitimate bona fide target that is realistic up to $6.41 based on that entire setup. Now, if it gets invalidated, well, that would be something. But until it gets invalidated, you can't call for invalidation until it happens, right? Kind of thing. So we'll see what happens. We'll definitely see what happens. It's been 50 minutes. I know I got to leave in a minute because I know Julie wants to get something to eat. It's been a long day. Had his doctors today too, and I've done a lot of lives, so a lot of work. So I'm about to call it in. My voice a little sore. Well, not horrible. I don't know about right this second, but yeah, metals are over. Oh, they are. They definitely are. I don't know the exact moment either when it starts pushing this next layer down, but it looks like we could be close to. If this plays down, it's definitely going to have another layer down here quickly. Metals, if this plays down tonight, metals are going to open up brutal tomorrow. They would open up brutals, but I think the miners, I'm waiting for a quick shuffle, like a deeper shuffle. I know that they had nice movement. I know they can overtake. Um, but I do see some symptoms of them getting to possibly exhaustion phases of a possible rising wedge play out here on a lot of these. So we'll see. They could also expand out if metal prices stabilize or break out. But yeah, we'll talk about more about that tomorrow. But yeah, I'm gonna call it a live here. Bless all of you. Um, can you ask AI about the Lab 577 Impel DASL bridge? Yes, I can. And thank you for the $2 super chat. Totally awesome. And being in Town Zone for 3+ months with the XRP Meteor. Greatly appreciated. Okay. It's going to search because I have it on a deep search. Ouch.
The Lab 577 Impel DASL bridge refers to an interoperability infrastructure that connects the public XDC network, XinFin, with the private R3 Corda network. In short, it is a technological bridge that allows traditional financial institutions to use a public cryptocurrency, XDC, for instant settlement, while maintaining the strict privacy and regulatory compliance required by enterprise banks. Here is a breakdown of the key components and how they work together to achieve this. 1. The core components, Lab 577, a software engineering firm founded by former banking executives and later acquired by BCB Group,
This is good
that
information.
specializes in emerging financial technology, particularly within the R3 Corda ecosystem. DASL, Digital Asset Shared Ledger, a technology platform built by Lab 577 on the Corda network. It provides the framework for financial institutions to securely issue, manage, and trade digital assets on Corda's private distributed ledger. Impel, a fintech platform built on the XDC network. Impel provides financial messaging that is fully compliant with the new ISO 20022 global standard, serving as a blockchain-based, cost-effective alternative to legacy financial messaging systems like SWIFT and SEPA. 2. How the bridge works. Historically, private enterprise networks like Corda lacked a native digital currency for instant financial settlement, while public blockchains like XDC lack direct access to the regulated financial institutions operating on Corda. The bridge solves this by linking the two environments. The DASL crypto bridge, developed by Lab 577, this was the first bridge to connect the public XDC network to the private Corda network. It allows the XDC token to move onto the Corda network, where it can be used as a settlement vehicle inside Corda-based decentralized applications, CordApps. The Impel integration. Impel utilizes this bridging technology to combine settlement with communication. When an enterprise sends an ISO 20022 compliant financial message through Impel on the XDC network, the bridge allows the corresponding funds to be settled almost instantly across the Corda network using XDC. 3. Why it matters. Instant settlement. It reduces cross-border and institutional transaction settlement times from days, traditional banking, to mere seconds. Enterprise privacy. It turns Corda into a hybrid network. Institutions can keep sensitive transaction data completely private on the Corda network while utilizing the public XDC network strictly for the rapid transfer of value. DeFi to TradFi interoperability. It connects the liquidity and speed of public digital assets with the traditional, highly regulated world of enterprise finance. Actually, hold on, let me start over. The Lab 577 Impel DASL bridge refers to an interoperability infrastructure that connects the public XDC network, XinFin, with the private R3 Corda network. In short, it is a technological bridge that allows traditional financial institutions to...
Okay, so I think we get the idea, but we'll talk more about this. That is great. Great. Whoa. 1970 Legend, thanks for not only being a very trusted mod, but also being in Times for over 1 year and a $49.99 super chat. Holy smokes. Wow. Yes, we do have to have a chat. You are right about that. You are right about that. Totally awesome. If you had a large amount of money ready to buy, what points would you start deployment of funds and which crypto? I really want to see this play down in those lower levels. XRP, for example, you know, you're talking about down towards that 86 cent area for Bitcoin, you know, and this isn't guaranteed because we could invalidate this, but this is what I'm doing. And I do have in my own right what I think is a large amount of capital that I have ready for deployment when it hits my aforementioned thought process. But I think for Bitcoin, if it did play to the potential, it would appear to me that maybe 55. But I mean, you really don't want to really play too much back into this pattern, but I don't know. I don't know because I have a hard time believing that this is just the start of a new bull season. If it isn't, I'm proven wrong, so be it. But like for me, on a lot of things, I'm looking at, like if you're looking at H-bar, like I have my plan. I know what I want. But if you're looking at these things for H bar, you're just looking for the flat. You're looking at like 4.8 cents. You're looking to reconfirm if we're just going to reset. You know, that's what I would be looking at. That's what I'm looking at, if I'm being honest. That's the area I'm looking at. You know, if it comes down there. The only way that this is not going to happen, and we've kind of already ruined this thesis, but we haven't. You know, we fell below this. So, I mean, it almost tells me with how this was set up, that looks like, you know, I don't want to say it, but that looks, when you look at it from over the top, you can start from back there, but if you just change this up a little bit, I mean, could we just be honest with ourselves and be like, that was a descending triangle? You can see how flat that bottom support was. So I'm looking at it to come down to like 4 cents, unless this entire thing reshuffles, and then we're in trouble. But this is telling me look towards that 4.5 cents to reclassify this as another support tap. Somewhere around there. Let's see where the exact area would be. Like 4.6, maybe 4.5. So I'm looking at with everything, it's something like about a 40% drop at least across the market if this were to play out in this scenario. And nobody can guarantee it. I can't even say that it's, you know, I can't tell you when or how. I can tell you how, but I don't know the exact date. I know it's been in that transgression here. I mean, we're not at 120K anymore. I get that. But we still haven't done exactly what I want it to do. But yeah, I'm looking at that kind of stuff. Like algo's at 9.4, but what I would be looking at is that 7.2, because I want to see it validate on this downtrending support. And it almost forms like, since it's down track, it could technically, you could say that's slightly downhill. Maybe that is forming something stronger here. Some could say it's a flat support, which we might have to talk about that later if that's the case. Maybe flipping a zero if that's the case. But yeah, I'm trying to find these areas farther down. Some will be 25, some will be 30, some will be 50. But yeah, so I'll keep you updated, 1971. Thank you for that super chat on the way out. I can't even thank you enough. But yeah, thanks everybody. I gotta go.